Hello, everyone. So, Happy New Year. So, it's the season 3 in Python, the episode 5. So, also today is the New Year's Day according to the lunar calendar. So, if you celebrate the lunar calendar, the New Year's, please say first thank you to the parents and also the if you have any relatives or your family, please call the family member then say hello. Okay, so anyway, we are going to continue the annual Python today. So today's topic is the functions. So I think the one episode may not be enough. So today and next week the episode 6. So we are going to discuss about the function in Python. So before we start, as usual, why don't you start with the stretch? So if you are in East Coast, it's evening. So we have back to back to back the snowstorm. So it was tired week to clean up the yard and the driveway. But if you are in West Coast, so I think I really envy the people who are in the West Coast right now. So you don't have to worry about the snow. But so always it's I think the 5 o'clock in the Pacific time. So before you have a dinner, so you are going to learn the today the Python. Okay, so let me uh, start with this one. Okay, so in my the generations, so we learn the Chinese characters. So in Chinese character, today's topic is the function. So in English, it's like this one. In Korean, the it's called the hamsu, and in Chinese, it's like this. The I'm not so good at the writing Chinese character, but this is the also the function in Chinese. I heard that the reason why the people select this Chinese character is the in Chinese pronunciation is very similar as the function. I'm not sure because I cannot pronounce the this one Chinese, but anyway the Chinese character means it's a kind of box. So sometimes I use the analyst to explain about what is the function. So I'm saying that this is the kind of black box. So today we are going to see what is this box, the black box, and how we can use to solve the problem in Python. Before we move on the working phrase, the PyCharm, so I'd like to little bit talk about this guy, the function. I know a lot of students here you don't like the mathematics and your parents probably ask you study math or to solve the problem and so on. So believe it or not, my major in my college, so my major was mathematics education. So I'd like to be a math teacher, and it was my dream the long time. So to be a mathematician, but I early actually gave up because I'm not genius on the math, so I'm not so good at to solve such a problem. But if you know the math, so there are a lot of benefit to survive the right now, especially the if you are interested in the computer and the computer programming. It's a really huge benefit. So let's see the why the knowing math is very important in computer and in future. Okay, so how can you represent the function? So if you already took the algebra, so you probably know function is so like this. F of x is equal to y. Y is equal to f of x. So by the way, do you know who used this notation f the first time? Anyone who knows who used this notation f for the function first time?
Einstein.
Einstein? I think the Einstein is 20th century. It's not old guy. He's not old guy. So much before that. So there was a very famous mathematician. His name is the Euler. So I'm not sure the spelling, the EU earlier, but his name is Euler. Euler was the one of the genius, the mathematician. He did a lot of things. If you are in the high school math, like the algebra 2 or pre-cal or the calculus, you probably know that this the equation, right? If you do not know this, don't worry. You will see soon. Okay. But if you are already in high school or I think the pre-calculus pretty much is the imaginary number I theta. So this is called the Euler the formula. So Euler actually the proved that this, then this the one shows the connection between the trigonometry and this number, the imaginary number. So we can use this equation to back and forth, back and forth. By the way, I still remember that this Euler, the formula during my college. So I think that is the first semester of my college. So in my first class of the math in my major. So this was a homework, but I proved this one by myself. So I really the liked. It looks like I believe that I'm genius in math, but I realized my thing. So this is not a very complicated thing. Everybody can do that. So Euler actually used such the notation f over x the first time there. So why the probably if you want to go to the college, you will take the geometry, algebra 2, and pre-calculus, calculus AB, calculus 1, so on. So you will spend the entire the life, the middle school and high school for this y equal f of x function. Why is so important? Anyone who thought about the y? The function y equal f of x is so important, and it's the sometimes the bothering me, and it's really annoying, but sometimes happy when you solve the problem. Why? This one is so important. Anyone who likes the mathematics? So what is the f of x function? The function we have x, the variable, and this one is also variable, range and domain. So if we draw the graph like this one, this is the x and this is the y, then we can, for example, if f over x is a linear, so it will be like this one, the linear function. Then it can be ax plus b, so y equal. Sometimes you can have the quadratic equation like this. This is ax squared plus bx plus c. Then sometimes you had like the logarithm. This is a logarithm and or exponent like that. You will see a lot of different functions during your middle school and high school. If you do not know, if you never seen this one, don't worry. You will see soon, and they will be your friend for the several years. Then why this function? Then why you spend a lot of time to solve the problem? Have you ever think about it? Even the parents. So you ask the children, please study math. Then have you ever explained why do they need to study mathematics? Then if you just ask the children like the study math, then they don't realize why they need to do that. So just think about the moment, like the 1 minute or 2 minutes. Why? So, in my opinion, so it's not general the answer, but in my sense, the study, knowing about the function is so we'd like to solve the problem in nature. It's not the problem is not in textbook, math textbook. After you get a job or after you graduate the high school and the college, you will get a job and you will make the money. Then you want to support your family. And at that time, your job is to solve the problem. Sometimes it's a difficult problem, sometimes a simple problem, but anyway, the problem. Most of the problem in our nature can be represented by the mathematical equation. If we can, not all the time, but if we can represent a certain problem as such an equation or such a function, then it's done. So like so for example, if the something drop, like the gravity. So then can we calculate the speed of the object dropping from the here or the there? So if we are using such a function, then we can solve the problem easily. Then to know about such a function, so we are going to use sometimes the calculus, the derivative, and or sometimes the integral, such a thing. So our goal of using such a math, specifically if we are using the f of x function, then we can understand in our nature. Then eventually you are able to solve such a problem. That's the reason math is important. That's the reason the f of x function is important, because this function can represent a lot of the event, a lot of the things. Okay, so today we are going to use such a the function in our Python program. Okay, so before we move on, so let's review our season one. So what was the theme topic of the season one, the annual Python? What was the topic? It's we learned about the cater, right? So cater has the full command. Do you remember that? So first the move, right? Go. And the second, turn left. And the third, yes, right, turn right. It's only turn left, right? So carrot cannot turn right. So then the pick beeper and put beeper. So only the full command. Then so we had the problem. So like this one, turn left. So what about the turn right? So if the carrot can only turn left, then can you make the carrot turn right? How can you do that? So carrot can only turn left. Then how can you make the carrot turn right? You can do the turn left 3 times right. So like this one. So if carrot turn left, very nice. The Jonathan and the Lion and Daniel. So like this one, turn left and turn left. Finally, this is the same as turn right. So last the season one, we have it like how can we? But every time, whenever you have the turn right, right? So we need to do the turn left, turn left, turn left. So if you need to turn right, turn left, turn left, turn left. So it's repeated. We don't want such a repeated. Then how can we address such a problem during the season one carol? We create yes, Jeremy are very nice. We create the function turn right. So how can you make? So turn right means the turn left and turn left and turn left. So 3 times of the turn left. So instead of using turn left, turn left, turn left, whenever you need the turn right, we can create such a function turn right. Then we can simplify the problem. So this is the main function of the function. Okay, what function is? We can make the complicated, complex the operation simple. So using the function. So today we are going to see more details. So we learned this with the Carol. Carol is a simple robot. Okay, even though Carol is based on the Python, but it's a simple. So today finally we are going to learn how to use such a function when we solve the problem, real problem, in Python. Okay, so let's get back to the slide, and let me change it, the desktop. Okay, so today's topic is the function. Before we start, so do you remember you had the homework, right? Who did the homework? If you did the homework, please give me thumbs up. If you did the homework, so very nice, Avdar. And who else? Who did the homework? Only one? Yes, the Jonathan did. And even, do you remember what was the homework? The homework was, so for example, if you, let me open the PyCharm. So let's say, let me open the Python console. If you want to make sure what was the homework, that you can follow me. Then, for example, I can create the num variable, so 1.9. Okay, then what if the print the num minus 1? What happened? Should be 0.9, but it shows the 0.899999. Wow, it's a bug. Is it really bug? So what do you think? Is it bug or not? It's not a bug, actually. So the problem is the computer did really, really good job this time. Okay, as I explained many, many times before, the computer can understand what? 0 or 1. Turn on, turn off. Okay, which is called the bit. So computer is based on the bit to store the data. Even though I'm using the bookshelf to pretend the storage, even though this storage memory has a bunch of 0 or 1. So which means that when the computer store the data, like the number, computer use 0 or 1. Then here's the simple example. What about the 1 divided by 3? So what is the value of the 1 divided by 3? 1 over 3, or 1/3. Using decimal, the system, what is the value of 1 over 3? It's the 3. It's an infinity. So actually nobody can represent the exact value of 1 over 3. Okay, that is the simple example. Computer cannot handle such a thing. Okay, so it's just the estimation. So when computer store the data, whole number is okay. Whole number, you can use the binary number system. So you can just use the as many bit as possible. However, when you store the decimal point, like the 1.9 or 0.9, actually there's no way to represent, to store the exact data. Instead, computer Python use estimation. So because of that estimation, sometimes it can be instead of 0.9, then it uses 89999999999 like that. Okay. So actually the Python use the 53 the bit at most. So using the even 53, so sometimes no way to represent, to show the exact value of the such a decimal point number. So it's the estimation. So at that time, it is not the error, that is the best way. So such the number system is called the float. So that is a reason it's called the float. So decimal point actually is not exact value, it's the best estimate value for the float number. Okay, that is the reason sometimes you cannot get the exact value that you expect. Instead, it's the estimated value. That was the homework. So very nice, the Avdar and the Brandon. Okay, so keep in mind just the Python is not wrong. It's not fault of the error of the Python. Python did the best job to estimate such a value. Okay, so that was the homework. Then move back to the Python today. Okay, so we have used a lot actually the Python. Believe it or not. Simply, whenever you see the parentheses, left parentheses, right parentheses, so it's the function. For example, here the main is the function, and also let's see for example, here the main is the function. Also, when you are using the print over here, the print is also function. So we have used a lot already the such a function. What other function have we ever used in Python so far? So can you give me example on your chat box if you ever used any other functions? String, very nice. The James says string is a function to make the value as a string. Yes, very nice. Thumbs up. And who else? So did you use any other function before? Print, yes, Daniel. Yeah, that is another function we have used to display. Yes, and the input, yes, Hyunmin, there is a function to receive the the value. Breakpoint is the true false. I'm not sure. Yeah, Jonathan, the float is the function the we just used, so we can make the value as the float pointer number. Okay, any other? Whenever you see the function name with the left parenthesis, right parenthesis, that will be the function. For example, let's back to the here, the turn left is the caret function, and the move was the caret function. Main, always we start with the main is the function. So main is the function. Print, as you have seen, function. Input is the function. Integer is the function. And even last time, the math, square root, or the square is the function, right? So all these are the functions. So in the Carol season 1, so we have used such a function to create a new command for Carol. Like for example, the turn right is the not given, so you create by yourself. So you create a lot during the season 1, the Carol. So how? The turn left, turn left, turn left, like this. So at that time, so we use the DEF. When you create the function, we have used the DEF keyword. So DEF is the command to create a new function. So keep in mind to memorize this. And also one more important thing is this one, semicolon. Okay, colon. So colon means what? Do you remember? Colon, whenever you see the colon, the you should expect what? What will be the next? Code block, right? So here is the code block for this function. So the function has the code block this much. So turn left, turn left, turn left will be executed whenever this function is run. Okay, so another example is the move n. So you can guess that this is a new function to move the n number of times. So main is the also function. So we have used every time such a main function. So main function also has the key, the command def. I guess is from the define, the create, the define def. Then colon over here. So this is the main, the function body like this. So I like to use this analogy. So function is like the black box. So which means if in mathematics, so I think anyone who never heard about the function before? Anyone? I think even the elementary school, the student kids, you heard about the function. You learned about the function in your school. So function is the f of x. There is the input and there is the output. So for example, if the input is 1, output is 2. Input is 2, output is 4. Input is 3, output is 6. Okay? That means this function is doing what? This function is doing multiply by 2. Nice, Jonathan. So we don't have to list up all the value like this. Instead, if you have the input x, output f of x is the 2x like this. So if you have the very complicated procedure in your programming, then you can create the function. Then later you don't have to worry about what's going on inside after you create. It's a kind of black box, so you can just use such a function. Okay, so in our Python program, so function has instead of input, we are going to say it's a parameter. Please remember at least the name of this parameter value. Parameter is the input. And also there is an output, it's a return value, return. So output instead of output, so we are going to use the return. Then, so this function should have the name. So there is the name. So from now on, I'm going to use the black box as an analysis. So last time that I talked about, for example, so in my memory, so when I create the function, this is a function. I don't know what's going on inside. There's an input. If I input, there is the output over here. So what you guys need to do is just after you create the function, you can put on your memory, then use it. So that is the function that can save you a lot of time. Okay, so that is the main part of the function. So rule is simple. So you can you don't have to even memorize it. Couple of time practice, you can create. So here is the name. You need to give the name of function. Here, one important habit. It's a Python style. So when you create the function, so should be meaningful name. Okay, do not create the function name A. Do not create the function name F. Instead, name of function. At that time, it is also good idea. Use underscore. Underscore is the what? Snake style the naming. Snake. It looks like the snake. Don't you think? I'm not sure. So it's a snake style the function. So a lot of time, such a function include verb instead of noun. Why? Why we prefer to use the verb for the name of a function? For example, here you can see the function name like the print, mirror to average. It's a verb. Why do we use the verb for the name of a function. Right? As Ian said. So it's more meaningful because a function is doing something. Doing what? Black box. So it's always a good idea to make the meaningful name. When you find the meaningful name of the function, mostly it's doing something. Verb. So please use the proper name of the function. Then next one is mostly the black box inside. There's something what's going on. So your job is to create the Python statement inside. At this time, don't forget this one, colon and line up and indentation every time. This is the indentation. Then input will be parentheses. Finally, we understand why we use a lot the left and right parentheses. That is for the parameter. Okay, then finally it has a return value. So there's one more keyword. Return is a red color, which means this is the command to return the data. This is optional. So we will see such an example later. Sometimes the function does not have the return. So like for example, this. There's no return, there is no return. There are input, sometimes there is no input, like this. Okay, so this is the anatomy, syntax of the function. Very simple, right? Everybody can understand. The more important thing is you should be able to create. So we will practice. So before we start to practice, so this is the example of the function that you can easily understand. Then we will see what's going on your memory. In other words, bookshelf. So first, if you run your program with the function will be created on your memory. Like if you create this function, it's the temperature, then this function will be residing. So take the space on your memory like this. Okay, main and the average. So function, creating function means the creating the space for the memory in the memory. So like this one, when I create the function for the temperature, so temperature, the function is here, like this one. Okay, so this is the function. Then if this one is called the call function. So how can I use the function? So you can call function. So you can call the number, call something. You can call the function with what? Parameter. So you can provide the parameter. This parameter going to the input of the average, like this. Okay. Then after we process the inside, sum is equal to a plus b and return half. This is the average. So when you return this value, will back to the average, then the assign the value. So mid will be 7.6. Then if you print, then it will be printed. So this is the very simple the function. When you use the function, so it's created in the memory and input and output. What you guys need to do is you are going to create the inside the black box. Okay, very complicated one. You can the fill up the black box. Okay, so first, why don't you open the PyCharm? So it's the episode 5. So if you are ready like me, so please give me thumbs up. Okay, we are going to start the practice right away. Okay, Brandon is it and Abdul did. If you have any question or the problem, please the use chat box today. The Trinity, she is available, so please ask the question if you have to the Trinity, then she will help you. So who else? So please give me thumbs up. So if you are ready, okay. Okay, very nice, James. So please do not watch this lecture. It's not useful. Never ever useful. Please try to type something. Okay, that is the only way to learn the Python. That is the best way to learn the Python. If you just watch, if you just listen to me, so never ever you will improve your Python. Okay, then the first problem is for the practice of the function. There are four different types of function. So you can see the no input, no return. The yes input, no return. Yes input, yes return. Yes multiple input, yes return. So we will practice one by one. Okay. So first one is the no parameter, no return. Okay. So which means it's Carol style the function. So why don't you open the example function.py, then as a user, remove the path. Then you will create the first function. Before you create the first function, please remove the print underscore intro. So command. Then here, you are going to create the function. So start. How can you create the function? What is the command? DEF. Okay, always the DEF. Then decide the function name. Print intro. So we will use the print underscore the intro. And there's no input. So just like this. Don't forget the colon always. Then enter. Then you can fill up the black box inside. This time the print, the welcome to class. One more. If you want to, you can type that differently. Anyone? Python. Oops. Python. Okay. That's it. One more. This is not required, but it's really good habit. Python style. Please give the two lines. Two lines between the function, Then it's much, much easier to understand. So please give the two lines between the function. Two lines between the function. This is officially recommended, the Python style. Okay. Then pretty much okay. So you can just run Python 3. If you are using Windows, use the py or Python. Then the command is example function.py. Then run it. Then if you can see this, welcome to class. Anyone Python, you are good. Please give me thumbs up if you can see the output like me. Please give me thumbs up. If you do not give me the thumbs up, I do not know whether you guys are following me or not. Okay, very nice. Jonathan did, Nick did, and Daniel did, and who else? And we have the 7, 8, and Brandon did, Abdul did, Katie did, very nice, good job, and very nice. Okay, so this is the first function you create, print underscore intro. So no parameter value, no return, but we can create the function. Then one more thing. Why don't you enter and make the space, one line here. Then follow me like this. The 1, 2, 3, triple the quotation mark. Do you remember what is the triple quotation mark? Anyone who remember triple quotation mark? No one. It's really surprising. Comment, right? It's a comment, right? So it's a multiple line comment. So it is recommended the one line after function name give the explanation about this function. For example, here, this is the printing function. for intro, like this. Why don't you give the very brief comment of this function? So this is called the doc string or document string. So what is a doc string? Doc string is the explanation about this function. Later, if other people use your function, then they'd like to know what this function is. Okay? At that time, if you already give such a command, it's also a good habit. And this one is the quotation mark will give the function later. You can actually search. You can actually retrieve the information about this function. So it's not required, but it's a really good habit. So it can be multiple line. So if you want, like this way. So if you want, you can give the multiple line. Oops. So you can give the multiple line of and this is the made by the lead, like this way. Okay. So you are going to use this doc string to give the information about the function. Okay. This is really the useful later when you create a really fancy, nice, big program. Okay. So next. So let's see what's going on when you run this program. So first, as we have seen here, main function will be called. Then main function will be created on your memory. Then the print intro is called. Where's the print intro? No. So we need to create the print intro on your memory like this. Then the print intro start what? Print welcome, print anyone. So after finish, there is no return, just back to the main. So print intro is done, then your program will be done like this way. Okay. Then the next one is a parameter. So there's a parameter. So we are going to practice second part. So we have the print, the opinion, the input is a 5. Okay. So parameter value is a 5. If 5, then the display, I love 5. The S, the whatever. So we do not run we have covered the if else before, right? The conditional statement, right? No, not yet. So we will see. Just follow me, then we will see the later. So, but this one gives the opinion about the 5. So this is the function. So you can delete the comment over here, then create the new function def. Just follow. So this is just a practice opinion and num. So num is the input. Then don't forget the colon. Then next line 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So this is an example of parameter like this. Then the next, if space the num equal to 5. Then don't forget the colon. Then print I love 5. So else don't forget the colon also. Print whatever. Okay, that's it. So this is the function print opinion. So we are going to run the program. If you are done, then I love 5. So let's see what's going on the memory. So please run your code, then we will see what's going on your memory. If you are done, as a user, please give me thumbs up. Then I can recognize who is done, who is the following me, and whether I need more time. You can just type as it is, like this one. If you don't want to see the previous function, you can comment this, like this one. then the only print underscore opinion will be displayed. As I suggest, please give two blank line between the function. Then you guys can easily understand. And also use the first line with the triple, the quotation mark for the doc string. We will see how to use the doc string later. Okay, not today. Then you can run your program. Yes. Then I love 5. If you are done, so why don't you test with the 4? You can change the input value 4. Then run it again. What happened? It's whatever because it's not 4. It's not 5, right? So please give me thumbs up if you can get the I love 5 or the whatever. If you can see such the result, please give me thumbs up. Only one today. Today is quite slow, and Jeremiah did, Jonathan did, Avdal did, and please follow me and step by step. Minion also did. Very nice. Then if you are still typing, you can do that. Then just listen what's going on the memory. So your code is like this one, okay, the parameter. So we are going to start from the main. So when you call the main function, so on the memory, main black box will be created like this. Then the next, the black box inside, call print opinion. Where's the print opinion? Oh, it's here. So it will be created here like this one. Then, oh, this time there is a input. So input 5 will be here, input of this function. Okay. So then this 5 will be used inside the function. So what will be the num here? So this one will be what? This time, what's the value of num in the function? What's the value of num? Hello, anyone? So what is the value of the num? So this, yes, it's a 5. Okay, because this print opinion is called the main with what? The 5. So 5 will be input of this function this time. So that means it's the 5. So this will be 5. Okay, then. So num is a 5. Then we can print I love 5. Then what's going on? What happened here? Here's the question. Print opinion is gone. Then why? Why is gone? Anyone? Any idea? Any idea why the printer opinion is gone on the memory? Think about this. So if no longer use this one, so if you leave this black box on bookshelf, it takes the space. So my bookshelf is very, very expensive. So I wanna free the space. So you can take out after you call after complete the function. So we Python wanna clear the space. So this space is gone. Even the main is done, then the main space will be gone. Then this space will be used for another program. Okay, so that is what's going on when you are using the function. So third one. So third example is a parameter and return. So we have both of them. So we are going to use the third one. So why don't you create the function? You can remove this. So in this case, we try to create a function to change meters to centimeter. How can you change the meter to centimeter? It's easy. So multiply by 100. So you can create how many lines? 2 lines. So DF. So meters underscore 2 underscore. So it's a snake naming. So then there's the input. What will be the input? Meters. So we try to change the meters, then use that directly return the 100 times meters like this. Wow, it's so simple. Then don't forget. So I suggest to use drift. So this is an example of the parameter and return like this. Okay, this is kind of a habit. And also I'm using one space operator between the operator and the variable. So operator and variable. This is another habit. Give the one space. Then it's much easier to understand your code. Okay, then for the meter, so 5.2 meters. What will be the output? Multiplied by 100. So result will be how much? 520. So let's run the program. Python 3, then enter. Wow, 520.0. Okay, so please keep typing and coding this part. Then see, parameter and return, if you run this program, so now you guys can imagine what's going on the next step. So first the main. So for the main will be created. Main black box will be created on your memory. Then the meters to centimeter will be called. So meters to centimeter is created on your memory. Then the input, there is an input. So you can use the 5.2 as an input of this one. Then the meters is right now the 5.2. So actually the meters, the created. What is the meters, by the way? It's the variable. So used in this black box only. So meters will be 5.2. So when you return, it's a multiply by 100. So 520 will be returned back to where? So this one. So result, receive this one, assigned. This is a variable used in the only main. Okay. Then print this result. So when you print, it will be printed. Oh, actually it's a 0.0. Then it will be printed like this. Okay, so if you can follow me, please give me thumbs up. Who did? Let's check who did. Wow, very nice. Everyone can follow me. So please, Katie did, and Lion did, Abdul did. Okay, so very nice. Very nicely done. The Kyungwon did, Maria did, and Ian did. Very nice. So please follow me. The next. So here's the question. So can you see any difference between them? Any difference? Return versus print. Yes, it's a return versus print. Then what is the main difference if we are using the return? When you are using return, so let's go back to here. If you are printing just here, print, then you lose the value. However, if you return the value, this value will be transferred to another function. Actually, exactly not. But right now, I'm using such the explanation. So this value is transferred to this one result. Then this value can be used in another place. So that is a huge difference. So you can connect between the two black box using the return. Okay. Otherwise, if you are just print, just that's it. So that is the reason print used a lot. The return is used a lot. The next one is a multiple input. Can I use the multiple input? Yes, you can do that. So for example here, so you can practice with here you can create the max function. So input is num1 and num2. So what will be happen? So when you create num1 and the num2, and then the variable will be created on your max. Okay, the max function. So then the first one, num1, and second one, please do not just listen to me. You don't have to watch me. Just type the using the this for the this one. So even though I do not type, so you need to create the max function. Then run your code. Okay. Because Ryan said we have only 6 minutes, so I should finish. Otherwise, Ryan will explode this lecture. So I'm going to hurry up. So please type this command, then you are going to learn. So we can use the multiple input, but this time be careful. If you are using 5,1, which means it's the order. The first one goes to the first one. Second one go to the second one. Okay. So if you have another one, that will be the third one. If you do not match if you create the function with the num3, num2, but if you give one more, it will be error. Okay, so you should match the number of input and also the order. Okay, so that is the case of the multiple input. It's your homework. So please type this and then see the result. Okay, so last problem 2. So we are going to practice the example of a return with this one. So this time you can open the example, the return. Then what we're gonna do is very simple. We are going to get the input of 2 input. One is the feet, another one is the inches. Then we are going to create the function, convert the feet and inch to the meter. So name is a feet to meter. So why don't you change the function name feet to meter? I think if you download from my email, so it's different. So why don't you change it? So why don't you use the feet to meters for the function name? Then create your function over here. I will give the 1 minute to finish this one. So you can the main is already done. So I put the main function, the feet and the inches. Then you are going to create the feet to meter. Okay. Then the output will be displayed. At this time, here's the question. What is the meter per feet? What is the inch per feet? Do you remember? What are they? Anyone who remember? The inch, they are capital letter. And inch per feet, 12. Meters per feet is a 0.3. What are they? Do you remember? This is called library. Const, which means constant. Very nice. So give the big applause to the James. It's a constant. Constant means it's the fixed variable. So this variable will be accessible in anywhere in your program. Okay. So we can use the capital letter, then it's the beginning of the program. Then it can be accessible. So you can use the constant on your the function, feet to meter function. Okay, then let's back to the here. So I will give you the hint like this. Okay, then I'm going to type the quickly. So meters in feet. I'm going to create the I'm going to use the meters per feet. the constant one, and for the input, the fit. I think that should be the num fit because I'm using the num fit. Let me change it if you are confusing. So I can use the fit. So this fit is the from the input. Then the next one is I need to calculate the meters in inches. Then at that time we can use the inches divided by what? The inches per feet. It's a constant variable. So then the meters per feet multiply. Very nice. Then we can return meters in feet plus the meters in inches. Okay, let's see whether this one is working. Okay, then let me close. Let me run the program with the return. Okay, so number of feet 5, number of inches 2. Then we can see the number of meters, so 1.55 like that. Okay, so this time, so one more minute. So we have the two constant variable, so meters per feet and also inches in feet. So because this is a constant variable, it can be accessible in anywhere in your program, anywhere in your program. So this is a special variable. Then we can start the main. So we get the two input feet and inches. And then we are going to calculate the meter using what? The feet to meters. Okay, then this feet to meter. So we are going to get the input. One is from feet, another one is from inches. So it will be transferred to the another function. Then the feet will be used in inside. Inches will be used in inside. So then we can calculate the meters using this input as well as the constant variable. Okay, then finally, we can return the add up the meters in feet, meters in inches, and this return back to the main function when you call the function. Then the meters variable will store the output, then display finally like this. Okay, so if you do not know the exactly, so you can always check the solution. You can click the here, then you can see the solution over here. Then you are able to check your answer with this one. Okay, so this is the last one. Thanks so much for your attending. So we are going to spend one more the episode to practice the function. Function is very, very important. It's somebody says the function, creating function are everything in programming. Okay, so please practice if you don't understand clearly by watching the YouTube video, or you can ask your not to me. You can ask your the friend who knows the programming, or search the Google. So then we will see later the uh, for more practice in the Python for the function. Thanks so much. Happy New Year again. Then we will see again the next the episode 6. Thank you.